cartoon. It doesn't matter what it is, right? Anything that you want to animate here. And you find a file. So again, whether it's a dog on a moped or it's just a dog cartoon, let's see here, trying to find, let's see, sure. Right, so I find an image, save that image. Okay, and I'm just gonna save this dog to a folder. All right. Now, the secret of this, though, happens inside of Photoshop of doing all that heavy lifting. Now, I know I want this to be a 640, 640. So if I do a new 640, 640, I've already got the setting. See, I've already got it set up. I can hit OK. Let me go ahead for now and just hide my timeline because I don't do that. And let's place embedded the dog. Let's see here, there's this dog. Place it. Now, it probably would have been nice if I found one that's big enough. All right, so again, imagine this is the dog on the moped, just for these purposes. Let me get my background, don't need it. And remember, to start working on this, it is still a smart layer. So we're gonna need to right click and rasterize it if we're placing. Now, this is your typical JPEG issue though. Now, the first thing you're gonna wanna do though, and I'm just gonna use my magic wand here to hold Shift and select all the white of that outside border. Now, remember when we do that, we can also do a select and mask. This is a way of looking at white form here, and it's going to show me everything that is selected will be white, and everything I don't have selected is black. This allows us, of course, to come here and do some smoother, so we're not looking at pixel-based. So this is going back to our image manipulation of cutting stuff out. I can put a little feather, and I also like to do a little shift edge to go in towards the black so that I don't get that white halo going around. Now I can hit delete. Boy, my performance is really down. You know what? I'll tell you what I'm going to do here real quick here. Even though it's, like I said, my creative cloud is killing me. Let's see. Media encoder cancel. Even though I was almost done. Oh, well. Yes, cancel. I'll come back. Now I'll get my full strength of my Photoshop. Come on. By the way, you know things are hung up when you hover over tools and it doesn't give you those highlights. So yeah, my machine is just really not happy with it right now. Tell you what. I guess too. Go through some issues here. Go ahead. Disk. Trying to find RAM. Come on, Photoshop. You can do it. Yeah, you can see some of the issues I'm having with my machine. All right, why are you doing this? Nothing's working. Okay, so you see I deleted all that using the magic wand. I was able to get rid of all white. Okay, now let's assume I want to animate some of these pieces here, right? I want them to move independent. For example, if I were to come in here, let me just give no feather, 0 feather. Like I want to move this ear as its own piece. I'm going to select the ear. I'm just using the lasso tool. Let me come in here and just take away some of that extra. Okay, so I have just this little earpiece here. Remember, we can use the pencil to do that too. And I'm just going to cut and paste. All right, now you're not working. Why aren't you working? Oh boy. I have the ears. Oh, cut and paste, right? Now that's all good for the ear here. However, you see, I now have this opening wound where I need to repair the opening where I cut the ear out. So that's just an issue now of healing it back up. So maybe I'll use a little bit of soft, darker brush here. Maybe 3 pixels to do it. And I need to fix the head, right? Because I can't have a hole there. And yes, I probably should have used a much higher quality here. Image, because this image quality is pretty poor. Smaller. Another way we can do this as well is you can always literally select. Let me hide my ear. I don't see. So this is almost like photo restoration at this point, right? Now I can come in here and fix the error that I've got. Move the opacity down a little bit here. And just restore and kind of airbrush that back out. And I'm using that lasso there to kind of mask off. See, so I've kind of got it healed again. Maybe come back and redo this edge. And remember, we're making GIFs, so they don't have to be super high quality. 10 or something. But in a nutshell, see, I healed where I removed that ear. So that will allow me now to put that ear back where it belongs. But yet, you know, if I want to animate or whatever I want to in After Effects or even in Photoshop here, I could start by having a couple different variations of the ear, right? Because if I want this to rotate, like I did before, I may want to have, you know, a couple versions of this. Duplicate layer again. And I could come in and do things like my pup warp, lock the ear there, grab it here. So this is my other ear position, right? And this one here, warp. See? And so I can get different positions to those ears. And then it's just an issue of, you know, animating that movement in, say, the Photoshop timeline, just using the eyeball, or in After Effects, I could literally just animate and rotate. Same thing kind of goes with this back ear here, where again, I'd want to animate it. If I want to animate it, I want it to be separate piece. Now, again, instead of cut, I will copy, paste it. But that now needs to go behind his head. That will allow me now to get rid of the ear that's there. And I'm just going to use and clean it up. So it's now the ear is gone there, but now I can move that back where it belongs. But even here, I need to heal this. And the easiest way to kind of do that is, again, expanding upon it. So a great way to even think about that would be even using like a clone stamp here. Okay, to give myself, it's almost like if you think about, you know, dolls where you've got like arms and legs shoved into sockets, but you have to have that socket so that if you want to animate that in any way, you don't end up with that cut going across them. Same thing can be done with the eyes, cut the eyes out, put them on their own layer. Even here, if I wanted to do something really simple, right? I can make a new layer here and even just do this quickly here with my lasso. Grab the white. Gotta have the dog selected, of course. Add the part I didn't select. You see, I've got the eyes now all selected. And I can pick a color. Let's go with this right here. And just paint bucket, right? And now if I want to, I can give the illusion of them blinking. Obviously, I'd want to go in there and get a little more detail, or I could even have this duplicate layer. Delete so that now I've even got half eyes, right? So I can have it there, blink, half eye, open eye. See that? So it's just, you know, mouth. Maybe I want him with his mouth closed. Well, I would have to make a new layer here. And just paint in a section where his mouth is closed. So especially when we're doing, again, like these GIFs inside of Photoshop, if I want him just to have his mouth closed now, see, all I need to do is have this activated. Open, closed, open, closed. Why not have a little more fun here? Make a new layer. And now I can have a different pose or position for his tongue, meaning I can have mouth open, mouth closed, tongue out, tongue in. And so you see, it's just very simple kind of ways of just adding some animation. Tail, back leg, anything I need to do. In fact, the back leg I could probably remove and just use this front leg, duplicate it, and then move it behind him and remove this back leg. And then I could have his paw up or something like that. It's just, the point is you're having to heal what you take away if you're going to want to animate that. Why not? Let's do it. Okay, so I'm going to come here. Take that away. Now, me, when I create artwork digitally or traditionally or whatever, I'm always creating my artwork on its own layer. Actually, did I take too much out of there? I think I may have taken toe out of there. Hold on a second. For some reason, it looks like he needs toe. But I'm always creating my content this way. So now I can come here and say, yes, copy this entire arm, copy, paste. This also would be helpful, guys, if you had a dark temporary background, like just putting a new background that was black or something, so you can see where you've got to correct. But now this duplicate leg will go behind it. And I could even have some fun with this just by temporarily using a puck warp to say, yeah, toe, 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 leg, leg. A little more shoulder on them. Okay. Now you have that other leg that you can then, I don't know, just duplicate one. Yes, I should be naming these because it's going to get very confusing. Lock that shoulder, lock this. I'll put one in the knee, one in the toe. Okay. Change that pose. And you see I've got now a variety of different positions for my legs. Then, I see a bunch of chats. 1 second here. GIFs are so much more RAM now. I have a 32 gig RAM and still struggling. Sometimes my season was really slow yesterday. I've been having responsive tools since I updated. Not sure if it's affecting Windows very. Again, if you guys are having serious issues with Adobe slowing down on your machine, just go back and remove or uninstall the 2022s. But before you do that, install the prior versions. It happens all the time. Again, think about it. I guarantee you that Adobe has an interest stake in you buying new, faster computers. Turn on my timeline here, create a frame animation, and now it's just an issue of saying, all right, what do I want to be visible first here? Right? Let's go and turn off that leg with the original leg. What ear do I want? I'll just leave that ear alone. Let's turn on one of his top ears. We'll go with the bottom one there, right? And his eyes are normal. Make a new frame. Let's turn on the next ear. Let's take his bottom ear here and let's just move it up a little bit. I don't know, just move. Let's turn on his other leg. New layer. Let's come in here and let's turn on his blinker. No blinker. Maybe half eyes. Okay. Mouth closed. Eyes open. Other ear. Tongue out. Normal mouth. And look how quickly then. See? Just like that, I'm adding subtle animation. And you could do this in After Effects, just like the moped as well, as long as things are on their separate layer. Pretty quick, pretty simple, pretty basic. You can even have some fun here. Let's see here. Which one am I on here? These are the blinky eyes. Even come here, watch this. Let's do a little bevel emboss to make the eyes look a little more three-dimensional. See? So just that quickly, I made them look a little more 3D with a little bevel emboss on the eyes there. this. There we go. See? And now they actually look like they're a little more three-dimensional, those eyes. They have shadow and highlight. So not too difficult. And this is true, again, if you want, like I say, if you have an illustration that's already been flattened as a JPEG, just cut it apart. First thing first, you probably want to do is take out the background, get rid of all that white, and then start separating the pieces you want to move individually.